When you think of peak cinema, what comes into mind? Oppenheimer, Endgame, Interstellar, Dark Knight? There's a lot of answers that could have came from that question. But I guarantee you not a single one of you guys thought of the Until Dawn movie. Early this year, I finally got the chance to play the game, and that game was fucking phenomenal. When I say I enjoyed that game from start to finish, I really mean it. I loved the characters, I loved the story, the atmosphere, just everything about that game was good. The movie, on the other hand, was just straight up disrespectful to the name Until Dawn. Honestly, this movie could have been its own thing. It honestly could have not been related to Until Dawn at all. And it was just very disappointing to see us, how good the game was. And then you just have this shit show of a movie. This movie honestly could have not been related to Until Dawn in the slightest. It honestly could have had its own identity, but for some reason, they thought it was like a good idea to just slap on the popular game Until Dawn on it. And when I say this movie is bad, I mean it is bad. And it's honestly quite disappointing and just a little bit infuriating when I really just think about it. Alright, before I get ahead of myself, for starters, let's start off with characters. The characters in the movie, I honestly did not care for any of them. Honestly did not give a shit for any single one of them. Unlike the game where you had Sam, Emily, Chris, Ashley, Josh, Mike. I'm sure I'm forgetting like a name or two. But point being is that the game makes sure that each character has an important role and that they're memorable or likable or dislikable. Point being is that the game characters are memorable and they're good. They're well written. In the movie, the movie's cast is not at all the same with the game characters. There's no Emily, there's no Sam, there's no Mike, there's none of that. There's a girl named Clover, a girl named honestly, and Meg, that's the name, Meg, Clover, two dudes and another girl. That's honestly all I can remember. My point being is that the characters in the movie are so forgettable. I can barely even remember the names of two of them. Compared to the game, I can almost list all of them for you guys. So let me talk about the plot of the movie. The plot of the movie is honestly the only thing they got somewhat right. Yeah, somewhat. It's not even 100% right. For some reason, they decided to add their own uniqueness and just make things different. I don't understand why. Whatever. So the plot of the movie is that Clover and her friends decide to look for her missing sister Mel, where the last time they kind of saw Mel was at this gas station video that Mel sent to her friends, and then she just went missing. Yeah, so it's pretty similar to the game in that aspect, where Josh and his 7 friends are trying to look for his missing sisters Hannah and Beth. So they go to the location where they went missing, and Clover and her friends also went to the location that Mel went missing. And that's really about it. That's the only thing that's very similar to the game, plot wise, because from there, not only is the plot different, bro, the atmosphere and area, the looks of the whole place is different. In the game, everything is snowy, it's at a cabin, it's all night and dark, it's scary. In the game, in the movie, dude, everything is like different. Not only is it not snowing, it's like in the middle of some fucking summerside forest or some shit. It's just, I'm sorry for stuttering and stumbling across my words because my brain is a mess right now because I'm really trying to comprehend how they messed up an Until Dawn movie, because all they had to do was just copy the source material, aka the game, and make it into a movie. They didn't have to change anything. The game wasn't broken. It wasn't bad. The game was phenomenal. It was great. It was fantastic. And they decided to change it into a shitty mess. And it's just very disappointing because like I said, the game was good. Very good. And this movie is just straight up a spit to the face to us Until Dawn fans. It's just straight up disrespectful to the name Until Dawn. And it's just like, come on, bro. Like, how the fuck do you mess that? How do you mess this movie up, bro? And it's just a little bit more frustrating because if you look at other video game movies that were successful, like the Mario movie, the Sonic movie, even the Minecraft movie. And you know what's crazy? What all 3 of those movies have in common, unlike the Until Dawn movie, where the game is an actual story, it has a story, it has a plot. the Mario franchise, the Sonic franchise, the Minecraft, they don't have actual like stories, if you know what I'm trying to say. They're not story games. Like, yeah, like some of the Mario, obviously, like Mario and Sonic have their own plots and their own games, right? But the series as a whole is, nobody knows it for their story, you know what I'm trying to say? Unlike Until Dawn, where it is a story game. How can they mess that up? It makes no sense. It actually just makes no sense, dude. And I don't know, like some of the only things like aside from the sisters going missing and a friend group going to where the sisters went missing, I guess the only thing like plot wise that was, I guess, somewhat correct was that the Wendigos are also in the movie. But they barely even go in depth about the Wendigos. They're just like, oh yeah, and these are Wendigos, and like, and that's it. That's it. We don't get like how they're made, like how in the game, like what the fuck is a Wendigo? We don't get that at all in the movie. Unlike in the game where they went in depth about Wendigos and stuff, right? And also the whole like cave mining lore in the game is kind of in the movie, but once again they, like, I don't know, man. They just messed up. I don't really want to go into spoilers, because I want to keep this a spoiler-free review, just for everybody can watch it and hear me yap about why this movie is just bad. And I guess it would have been difficult to make the movie an exact 101 replica of the game, because the Until Dawn game is a butterfly effect type of game, where there are different outcomes for characters and there's totems showing you those different outcomes for each character, endings, and etc. And I get it that it would have been very difficult to make that. But all they really had to do, in my opinion, is just pick one of the multiple endings of the game, some of the different outcomes of the game, and make it into a movie, right? Whether it's just the whole bad time scenario, bad timeline ending type of for the game, or the good ending where everybody survives. Like, my point being is that they could have just picked one of the multiple endings and the many scenarios of the game and make it into a movie, right? They didn't really have to make every ending, every scenario. Y'all get what I'm trying to say, right? And the movie, it went to the approach of a Groundhog Day type of movie, meaning that the plot involves the cast of characters experiencing a time loop where they're just stuck in the same, well, in this instance, same night over and over again with little to no differences. And I don't know, man, just it was just different, and it wasn't really good. I don't know. I'm just sad. But hear me out, y'all. What if the Until Dawn game, instead of a movie, was a show? Now hear me out. A good example of a good video game show is The Last of Us. The Last of Us show is very good. At least the first season. I haven't seen the second season. I don't know if it's any dog shit. I don't know if it's as bad as the game or something. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I know it just came out recently. The first season, though, like the first part of the game, first season, very, very good. It is literally almost a one-on-one replica of the game with some subtle differences, but I wouldn't say those differences made the show any worse or just like less than the game. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like those differences added stuff to the show in a good way. Whether it was about a plot, locations, characters, yeah. Like if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. But I think Until Dawn would have been way better if it was a show instead of a movie, because not only is the game like a story game, it has like 10 chapters. Each chapter could have been like its own episode, like a weekly episode or something, right? I think that concept would have been so much better than what they did with this horrible, disgusting, disrespectful movie. And you know what's crazy, y'all? I know I said I was gonna keep it spoiler free, but massive spoiler warning right now. I don't know if any of you guys give a shit, but spoiler warning right now, timestamp on the screen to where to skip to. Alright, for anyone still here, I'm gonna spoil a little thing about the ending of the movie. So, you know what's crazy? I don't know, my ideas are all over the place, so I don't know if I even mentioned this in the beginning of the video or something, but the area, like I said earlier, or if I didn't, the area of the movie, the atmosphere, just at the whole area and atmosphere of the movie is completely different. It's not in a cabin, it's not snowy, it's just completely different, right? At the end of the movie, there's like these little Easter eggs, right? Hear me out. There's these little Easter eggs that where Dr. Hill, he's in the movie, he's also like the main antagonist, just like in the game. There's like these papers of like, you know, the test subjects and people he's tested this shit on or whatever, right? Making them their fears, blah, blah, blah. And Joshua Washington from the game he's there. Like, it was a cool Easter egg, right? I thought it was really cool. But Then there's like this little snow globe at the end of the movie where it shows a snowy cabin, and it was literally like a reference to the fucking game. Like it was literally a reference to the game, and it was basically saying that like the ending was insinuating that the movie was a prequel, right? But here's the weird part, is that even though the ending in the movie was insinuating that it's a prequel, the director is saying that it's a sequel, that like there's sequel events happening in the movie, but it's weird because it's insinuating, it's trying to say that it's a prequel, but you have the person, the lead director of the fucking movie, is saying it's a sequel with like sequel things, whatever. It's so weird, and it's just like so confusing. Like it makes no sense, bro. Like it makes literally no sense. I don't know if I'm like me trying to explain it makes any sense. If you guys are confused as I am, don't worry. I'm confused explaining this. Bro, like why? How did they mess this up, bro? How? It makes no sense, man. And you know what's funny? You can basically tell they ran out of budget at some point in the movie because, like I said earlier, Clover and her friends are basically stuck in a time loop, right? Dude, at some point in the movie, because in the whole movie we've only seen like 4 or 5 nights of the time loop, right? And in total there were about like 13, because I think in the game as well it's only like basically 13 days until somebody turns into a Wendigo, right? Dude, we only see like 4 or 5 out of the 13 days, because the rest of the fucking days are like 30-second clips. Like 30-second clips, and it's just like basically a death compilation. It's just ridiculous. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm sorry for like basically just, my mind is just all over the place and just so disappointed. I'm just so disappointed. Overall, this movie sucks. It's not good. It is a straight disrespectful spit to the face to us Until Dawn fans, to anyone who likes the game. It's just very sad and disappointing to see. I do think that this game should have gotten a show instead of a movie, and each episode was a chapter. I think that could have been, in an alternate timeline, the best outcome for us Until Dawn fans. And unfortunately, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. But bye.